Okay, just let's do a little so sharing. Eighty 88. We're holding page 88. Next to the last paragraph on the page. We're speaking about kavod, honor. Al keinu merabseinu zechrein levrocha in Pirkei Avos. Hakino v'atayv v'akavod. Jealousy, desire, and honor. Motzinas adam in olam. It actually takes a person, causes a person to forfeit. He's sharing the world to come. Ziruna al tvakish gedulo al tachmut kavod. A person should not seek out distinction, greatness, and you should not tachmod. You should not desire honor. Kamehim shemisanim berov. Here, how many people are afflicted by hunger? V'yashpilu satzon spanis minat stoko. Here, and they're willing to be supported from charity. We see it. Nothing's changed. Person originally says, it's beneath my dignity to do that chore. Right? I prefer to take charity. So they're willing to take charity and to live, even with the charity that they don't have much, to forego that, than to compromise on their honor in terms of what they feel is inappropriate for them. Miros penyimat kvodam was that will minimize their honor, the way they will be valued and acknowledged by others. It's beneath our dignity. Is there any greater foolishness than this? They prefer to be unoccupied, which ultimately leads to senility and to promiscuity, lead gozel. And if a person's in need, a person justifies stealing. You prefer to put yourself in that position. When they call gufi averos, not to lower your so-called status and to be disgraced, to disgrace your fantasy honor. It's all a fantasy. I'll tell you an interesting story. It's not for the recorder. That many years ago, when I was married, so reading a ksuba at a wedding is an honor. It's an honor. So St. Louis many years ago had a chief rabbi. He was Talmud Chacham. And when I was married in St. Louis, Shiv Zechariah Baruch came to the wedding, and Mashgiach came to the wedding, and another person came to the wedding. Three of the Rosh Yeshivas came. And before the wedding, before I went there, so one of the people originally was from St. Louis, who was one of the Rosh Yeshivas, calls me over with the Rosh Yeshiva, says they want to know who's receiving which honor. So I told them, the Rosh Yeshiva is going to have the Seder Kedushin, is going to officiate, the Mashgiach is going to have Kriyas Ksuba. They said, what about the chief rabbi of the community? I said, we'll have Baruch HaChrika, which is the third in order of honor. So they say to me, they think the rabbi should get the second honor, and the Mashgiach should get the third honor. That's what he said to me. So I said to them, but the chief rabbi doesn't come to the ankles of the Mashgiach in Torah. So I said, it's inappropriate. He compromised his honor for the rabbi there. So he said to me, Yeshiva said to me, but since the Yeshiva raises money in St. Louis, if we're not on good terms with the rabbi, he could cause us financial loss. Just tell me the story. Therefore, it's worthwhile to whatever it is to let it go. I said, I understand, but I said it's interesting. whenever it's a question of compromising somebody's covenant, it's always the mashgiach. He's always the one. I was very close to my Rishiva. That's what I said to him. So I said to my Rishiva, he said, I'm going to go to my mashgiach. His name was Rav David. I said, if he's willing to forego it, we'll give him the closing bracha. And if not, I said, I can't cause him that level of embarrassment. That's what I said to my Rishiva. Okay? The story goes back 45 years ago. So I go into my mashgiach's room. He's learning. And he sees I'm a little perturbed. He says, I see, you bothered. Is there a problem? I said, yeah, there's a little bit of a problem. And he passed away a year later. So I said to him, I explained it to him. So he says, first he says, I don't know why you want me to come to your wedding. You have the Rishiva coming, you have this other person, we need me. Is it a fifth radel? Do I have to be the fifth wheel? If your car has 4 wheels, you need 5 wheels. You don't need it. I said, I'm not asking Shkiach to come because I need personalities there, because you're my Rebbe. Shkiach's my Rebbe. I want my Rebbe to be there. He said, okay. So he says to me, I want to explain you something about kavod. That's what I'm saying. I want to explain you. He was a Talmud Muvak or Chatzkel Levenstein in Europe, the Mir. He davened the Yom Noroim as a bocher for the Yom on Rosh Hashanah Kippur. And he was also a student, a Talmud of Rabbi Rucham, Levovitz, the Mashgiach before. He says to me, and he said it, he says, there's what we call fantasia. It's what we Yiddish, fantasy. This COVID is fantasy. These people, they're all living fantasy. Where they get this on or that on, and it's all fantasy. He said the real COVID is if you have Torah, then a person's worthy. Otherwise, it's all nonsense. He says, I will come without a bracha. I don't want you to give me any honor. He was telling me the story. What happened? So of course, I was going to give him. So he waived it. So I gave him. Of course, he was going to receive the last bracha. Come to the wedding. My mashgiach, when he davened for the Yom Noram, he knew the whole davening by heart. He knew everything by heart. He had his eyes closed and was davening by the Yom Noram. So he knew most things by heart. How many people know Sheva Brachas by heart? The Brachas sound for the chuppah. He knew them by heart. So they call up the one who originally instigated this or brought it up. They didn't have a sit after the chuppah. So they called up the person, one other person, and he didn't say the wrong bracha. He says, I'm not going to say it till they bring the sitter. So the mashgiach says to him, he says, no problem, I'll say the bracha, you just say after me. That's what he said to him. Just repeat after me, you'll be okay. Joke, he said, till they brought the sitter, but that's the story of him. But that's what he says. It's fantasia. He says, it's all covered in medumah. It's all fantasy. It's all in people's minds. It's not reality. To be continued.